Ivan! Halifax stood facing the hangar, the hum of his engine still throbbing in his muscles. Ivan! Heat dribbled up from the roof of the hangar. After waiting for a minute and hearing no answer, he left his plane and walked home through the streets. It was still the hot part of the day. The shops had closed. Blue wood awnings lay flat against the walls. Halifax had a room on the roof of the Hotel Smara. He always felt it in his calves when he walked up the stone staircase. It was dark in the room, and the air smelled salty from the sea. He peeled off his leather jacket and put his goggles, flying helmet, gloves, and revolver on the table. Then he sat down in a chair on the balcony, hands behind his head. Sleep smoothed at his face. This was the time of day he looked forward to most. He felt his breath grow slower and deeper. A minute later, footsteps echoed in the hall outside his room. The door opened and someone walked in. A man blocked the sun. "Hello there, Halifax, my friend." Halifax opened his eyes very slowly, light streaming in. "What do you want, Serailler?" "You always think I want something, Charlie." Serailler sat down in the other chair. He reached across and patted Halifax on the knee. "I just came to see how my old friend Charlie is doing." "You never come up here unless you want something." Serailler sat back and the chair creaked. He undid the top button of his uniform jacket. Old sweat had dried into white dust around the collar and the back. "All right, fine. I do want something. You're flying out to meet the Tuaregs today. Now, in fact. You're delivering a case of rifles and ammunition. Everything must be done today." "My flying orders are for tomorrow." Halifax rummaged in his pockets for the orders. He found the piece of paper thin and yellow and almost dissolving in the moisture from his fingertips. Then he put on his glasses so he could read. "It says I do reconnaissance tomorrow at 10. Here, it's all here. You signed the damn thing." He held out the orders to Serailler. "Besides, I just got back from patrol." Beyond the town walls, waves exploded on the rocks, echoing through the narrow streets of Mogador. "These are new orders." Serailler took the paper and crumpled it up. "Unwritten orders. You leave in half an hour." He found himself a cigarette and lit a match, shielding its flame with the thin web of his palm. His eyes closed and his cheeks bowed in as smoke streamed down his throat. The smoke leaked in gray slivers from his mouth and nose. "Look, Serailler, why don't you send someone else for a change? I just got back from patrol," he was going to say again, but fell silent. It wouldn't do any good. He sat back, folded his arms, and stared past Serailler at the stone walls that ringed the town. They were the walls of a fortress built by the Portuguese in the 1600s when they dealt in slaves and gold dragged out of the desert. Their bronze cannons still jutted from the ramparts, aiming out to sea. "Why can't you send Rollet or Labouchere? They could do it just as well as me." "But I'm ordering you. I don't trust anyone else to do the job right." "Don't kid yourself. You know you're the man for the job. You always have been." Serailler rested his hand on Halifax's knee. "Of course, you could always say no. Try something new. Surprise me after all these years. Say, 'No, Captain Serailler. I have decided not to follow your orders any more, and would prefer to be transferred to an outpost in the desert.' Serailler, you would say, send me to a place like Sidi Arak. Send me out into the sand so I can rub elbows with those Arabs. I want the challenge of knowing that if they get a hold of me, they'll use my skull for a paving stone in one of their mosques. Is that what you want to tell me, Halifax? Is it? Because if you're going to tell me..." He reached across and gently